Ωραία. Οπότε, σήμερα όπως γνωρίζετε, λίγο πολύ θα παρουσιαστεί το Learning Game Programming Tool, το οποίο από τα αρχικά του το ονομάζουμε LGPT. Το εργαλείο αυτό έχει αναπτυχθεί από την γαλλική εταιρεία DigiNext και είναι μαζί μας το MaTHiSiS για να μας παρουσιάσει το εργαλείο αυτό. Παράλληλα, είμαστε μαζί σας και εγώ, αλλά και ο Νίκος ο Βρετός που έδωσε το αντίστοιχο webinar την προηγούμενη φορά. Οπότε, αν υπάρχουν ζητήματα κατανόησης, όπου χρειάζεται θα μας ρωτήσετε και θα επιληθούν οι όποιες απορίες. Είμαστε OK με αυτό?
Ναι.
Ωραία. Χρήστο? Ο Χρήστος μάλλον έχει πρόβλημα με το μικρόφωνο, καταλαβαίνω. Οκ.
Χρήστο, μήπως είσαι muted?
Of course I am muted. I was muted. So, Thomas, the floor is passed to you. The young developers are here and are waiting to listen about LGBT. You can also introduce a little bit DigiNext you're working for, and whenever they feel that there is something that they do not understand, they can. I told them that they can also ask Nicholas or me to assist in the whole process. So the floor is yours, Thomas.
Okay, thank you, Nelly. So welcome to the Learning Game Programming Tool webinar. So I'm Thomas Téchenet from DigiNext in France. So we're a company working in 3D editor application mainly. And today I'm going to present you the Learning Game Programming Tool, which is one of our tools. So the objective of today is to show you how to integrate a piece of software, like a little game, inside the Learning Game Programming Tool, which will provide us the means to fit this game inside the MaTHiSiS context. So in short, to how to integrate one game or software inside the MaTHiSiS platform. So just to start, I have this little Python game I have right here, which is a Pong game. So I will just show you this because it will it does represent the work that you will do during the hackathon. So you will have to code something that will be integrated in the MaTHiSiS platform using the different MaTHiSiS concept, like the XAPI statement that you will use to communicate with the MaTHiSiS backend. So here I have just my little Python game. I can show you right here the execution of it. So just right here I can show you how it does work. So this is just my Python, my little Python game. So actually this is still a piece of a .py file. What I need to do right here is to convert this to an exe file, so it will be easier to include it inside the Learning Game Programming Tool. So in this game, as I said, you will be able to communicate with the backend, the MaTHiSiS backend. For example, sending XAPI statements to communicate the score of the person playing the game, for example. So this is mainly what you will do during the hackathon. But the objective of the Learning Game Programming Tool is to allow you to integrate this game inside the MaTHiSiS platform. So we'll go through the Learning Game Programming Tool now, which is this software. So we need to create a project first. I will explain you a bit the layout. So we have this as a generic software. We have a MaTHiSiS plugin inserted just right here that will include in this software the different possibilities to communicate with the MaTHiSiS backend. Okay, so this is the main layout of our software. You have several windows over there. You have a project manager, which represent all the components and objects you have inside your project. You have here the main window you will work in during the hackathon, which is the simulation or graph view. So this is where you will edit the behavior of your game made with the learning game programming tool. You have also on the right here a task library, which represents everything concerning behavior. You have predefined behavior regarding different things. Specifically, in our case, the MaTHiSiS behavior, which represent predefined building blocks of XAPI statement to communicate with the platform. So you can see there is a lot of combination possible. For example, one we will use later in the presentation is PA initialized interaction. So this combination says clearly, okay, the platform agent which represent the end device, says, okay, we send a command to the backend, to the MaTHiSiS backend, to tell the platform agent has started an interaction that can be several things. For example, a PowerPoint presentation, or like I just show you, a Python game. So this is an interaction mainly. So you have this combination right here that will be used later in the process of the game. And you have here, just at the middle, a 3D view, which allows you to edit 3D content if you wish to add like a 3D environment or 3D object, 3D models, everything you have. You can insert it right here and then configure its behavior in the graph right here. Okay. So the next thing we are going to do right now is to add the Python game I showed you inside the graph right here. So to do this, we have a generic building block again in the library right here, which is called an application launcher module. So this module, to add it, you just need to drag and drop inside the graph view. So it just pops up here. If you go back to the project tab, you will see that we have our application launcher in the project in the project window. So for more clarity, we'll rename it to Python game, for example. Okay, so this is our Python game building block, and now it is still generic. So we need to configure it a bit in order to start our Pong game. To configure this, we need to select a file, a specific file, which I prepared previously. So to do this, you need to have to select right here the folder right here and select then the appropriate file, which is one of the several you see there. So as you can see, we have a VideoLAN VLC file. So this, for example, will open a VLC software with a video as input. The same goes for Microsoft Word as PowerPoint, and of course Adobe Acrobat Reader for a PDF file. But what we are interested in today is to include our Python game just right here. So I have made this file today, so I'm just going to show you how it looks. So this is a very simple file just right here, which points actually to the exe file of the Pong game seen previously. So we're just going to select the Python game right here. Okay. And then you have the possibility with these building blocks to play with events. So here I have at disposition several events, like the start event or the closed event. So for an example, I will choose the start and the closed event. It is important to say that some events are predefined, like the start and the closed one. They are always present regarding the building blocks you choose, but it is possible to add more events. These events can be added in the file in the manifest file just right here by choosing, by adding more events like this one. You see we have the close one right here, but you can add more if you would like more options. So so we have here our two building blocks. So we need to link the different building blocks between them to make it like a sequence in order to represent our game inside the learning game programming tool. So to do this, I just need to connect the pin between the different building blocks. So I connect here the down pin to the start pin right here because the down pin is triggered whenever this task is over. So okay, so we have now one Python game and one interaction that says to the MaTHiSiS backend, okay, the interaction has started. We need to have the same for the ending of the game. So I will choose another one in the task library, which is PA exited the interaction. And again, I need to link the two blocks together. Okay, so now we are almost ready to test it. We need one more thing left. We need to say which is the first task to start inside the game. So for this, I have this checkbox auto start right here that I need to select to say, okay, this is the first one. Okay, now I think we're ready to test. So you can, this software provides you the possibility to test live before publishing anything. So you have here the play and test simulation button. So you can test it right here. And this, as you can see, triggers the first box and then goes to the Python game. So I'm just gonna lose so you can see how the next block is triggered. Okay, so 5, yeah, okay, 5 is lost. And now the next task, which is PA exited the interaction, has been triggered and has sent an XAPI statement to the MaTHiSiS backend to say, okay, the game, this game is over. Hello? Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, yes.
Okay, I think I cut off.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, so I was saying we have now two XAPI statements around our game, and we need one more, which is a mandatory communication to the cloud to say, okay, this is the time to trigger the next iteration of the MaTHiSiS loop. And for this, I have a specific building block, which is the learner terminated an interaction, which says to the platform, okay, the learner has finished everything in this learning material, and we can go to the next one. So we definitely need this building block at the end of every game you create with the learning game programming tool. So just to mention that the learning game programming tool abstracts some of the XAPI statement from your game. This means that you only need to have in mind that some XAPI statements are relevant inside your Python game, like the score, for example, but you have inside the LGPT some that are already pre-configured, so you don't need to bother with them inside your game, precisely. So, okay, so we have just created a game with the learning game programming tool, and now we can go to the next step, which is the publication, and then how to make the platform know that this learning material is available. So for this, I'm going to save my project, and then I'm going to publish it. I'm going to publish it as a playable project. Okay, and then publish. Okay, so here you can see my project is right here. We are going to do the next step, which is the addition in the web platform. So for this, we're going to go inside the MaTHiSiS web platform, which is this one. So we have this specific web page, which is the learning material configurator. You will have on this page a list of every learning material that are available in the platform. And what we need to do right here is to add another one. So we're just going to click on this button, and then we have a form to fill. So we have some basic field to fill, like the name and description. So for example, I have this, which I will call Pong game. Description, okay, so this is a Pong game for the webinar LGBT. And we have also the difficulty to choose. So the difficulty, you have 3 different difficulty, which are easy, medium, and hard. So I will stop a bit on this field for a moment and explain you a bit. The MaTHiSiS platform works in a way that we decline every learning material in 3 difficulties. So the platform can adapt at some point and propose you an exercise that will be more easier or more harder depending on your performance and affective state. So for this one, I'm going to choose the easy one. Then you have a type to choose, which can be several things. So of course, for this one, we will choose a digital material. So you have all these category right here that you can choose. But for this one, I think we can choose the digital game. It will fit nicely. And then we have one more field to fill, which is the interaction required. So this asks you which, precisely what interaction will the learner or the user will have to need to play the learning material. For this, I think we can say that it needs touch and reading, for example. Okay, so this is the basic field we need in the first place. And now we have some more technical stuff right here, which are the identifier of the learning material. So this actually says to the platform how we are going to start the learning material. So for example, right here, we have a game that has been published on a desktop. So this is something which is present on a computer. So we have a computer file to insert right here in the field application locator. So this field, depending on the type of your learning material, will be different. So in our case, which is a computer game on desktop, we will have a file name or a path to the application. For a web base, we will have a URL. And for an application, an Android application, we will have some other way to start it. So to do this, we're going to select the path of our project, which is this one. Okay, and now I'm going to select the name of my project. This is mandatory. Okay, and now to inform the platform which is the type of this field, we're going to select one right here. So you have different things right over there. So as I said, you have different categories. So in our case, it is a file name because file name correspond to something on a computer locally installed. But for a web-based application, you will have the URL category, and for an application on mobile, you will have the application name category. But for this one, we will need to select the file name. Okay. Now, in our case, everything is set up, so we just need to click on this final button, Add Learning Material Application Installer, and this is okay. Now we're going to save our Pong game learning material. And now this is it. The learning material is known by the platform. So if you like, you can search for it in the list. So as you can see, we have our game right here. You can see the different fields we have informed earlier. And this is all for this step. Okay, now we're going to move to the next step, which is the inclusion of this game inside a learning graph, actually, which will represent later the learning experience that the learners will play. For this, we have another software, which is the Learning Content Editor. So I have prepared a learning graph, a simple learning graph right here to show you how it works and how we're going to integrate our learning material inside it. So here I have several nodes. We have here the motto skill, which is the learning goal, and then we have the learning goal to to fill. And then we have the rapidity and reflex smart learning atoms, which are smaller skills to achieve in order to achieve this main goal. So in our case, we're going to go deeper inside this node, which is the reflex one, and we will find a learning action right here, which is the Pong one. In this one, we're going to go one step deeper, and this is actually right here that we're going to insert the learning material that we just made. So here again, I'm going to refresh the list, and then I'm going to search for the Pong game. So as you can see, we have here our Pong game. We just need to click on add to the graph. And here it is. We have our Pong game inside this learning experience, and you can apply some filters on this game in order to let the possibilities to the guy that they produce the learning experience, that this will fit the exact needs of his learner. So I have a new window here with several things to select. So in our case, we will have the condition on learners standard learner, which means if I am a standard learner, I can play this game. We don't need any disabilities right here. We'll say that the environment is a school, for example. We definitely need to select the right platform agent here, because this game we just made is a desktop game, so we will only be able to play it on a desktop. So we choose the category desktop right here. And as we have selected earlier in the learning material configurator, we need to select the easy difficulty. Okay, and this is it actually. So we have a condition right here. You can link it to the Pong game, and this apply some filter to the execution of the game. So this is it for the addition of this learning material inside a learning experience. So to resume, we have done several things right here. We had in the first place our Pong game on a standalone application. After that, we have just inserted our Python game inside a learning game programming tool game, and then we have published it. The step after that is the addition of this game inside the MaTHiSiS platform, and finally, in the learning content editor, we have added the Pong game inside a learning experience that is now available for the users in the platform. I think this is it. Any questions?
Οπότε υπάρχουν ερωτήσεις. Να επισημάνουμε ότι θα υπάρχει βοήθεια σε αυτό το integration. Οπότε από εσάς απλά προσδοκούμε μια γενική κατανόηση. Εσείς θα αναπτύξετε το πρόγραμμα. So Thomas, what I'm saying is that the hackers will receive some help from your side on the integration with the MaTHiSiS platform.
Sorry, if they will receive some help from my side?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean that the focus for them is on the development of the game.
Of course, yeah, we will be present during the hackathon, so we will provide support in order to integrate everything they made inside the MaTHiSiS platform.
Actually, based on the agenda that we are drafting right now, the idea is that we will have a dedicated integration session. So I switch in Greek to explain all this to our new colleagues here. Οπότε, Χρήστο και Κώστα, απλά να σας ενημερώσουμε ότι θα υπάρξει ένα 2ωρο, στο οποίο θα κάνουμε το integration. Δηλαδή, θα περιμένουμε να έχετε τελειώσει τα παιχνίδια σας και η διαδικασία, έτσι για να σας σχηματοποιήσω και λίγο, θα είναι ως εξής. Θα είναι ο Τόμας, ο Τεσένε από την DXT, ο οποίος θα κάνει την ίδια δουλειά που είδατε σήμερα σε κάποιο presentation, όπου θα είσαστε όλοι συμμετέχοντες παρόντες και θα ακολουθάτε τα βήματά του step by step. Οπότε δεν νομίζω ότι είναι κάτι το οποίο θα είναι τόσο πολύπλοκο. Όπως είδατε, είναι μια αρκετά αυτοματοποιημένη διαδικασία. Το σημαντικό που θεωρώ εγώ ότι πρέπει να κρατήσετε είναι ότι στη διάρκεια αυτή που παρουσιάστηκε το LGBT, αυτό το tool στο οποίο φτιάχναμε τα graphs, είδατε ότι υπάρχει δυνατότητα να περάσουν κάποια statement XAPIs, όπως τα λέμε, αυτά που συζητάγαμε στο προηγούμενο webinar. Έχετε αυτά στο μυαλό σας, ώστε αυτά τα statements τα οποία θα βάλετε εσείς στο δικό σας παιχνίδι, να είναι μόνο τα αναγκαία, γιατί δεν χρειάζεται να αυξήσετε πολυπλοκότητα μόνοι σας. Τα υπόλοιπα, τα βασικά του τύπου ξεκινάει το παιχνίδι ή ότι το κινητό μου, το mobile device μου, το οτιδήποτε πρέπει να αλληλεπιδράσει με την πλατφόρμα του MaTHiSiS, αυτά όλα βρίσκονται ήδη μέσα και δεν χρειάζεται εσείς να τα βάλετε και στο παιχνίδι σας. Στο παιχνίδι θα χρειαστούν τα πιο βασικά, δηλαδή να στείλουμε το score, κάποιο ειδικό XAPI το οποίο κάτι σημαίνει για εσάς όταν θα σχεδιάσετε τα παιχνίδια κτλ. Οπότε τα βασικά του τύπου αρχίζω-τελειώνω υπάρχουν στην πλατφόρμα, δεν χρειάζεται να τα διαχειριστείτε εσείς. Αυτό νομίζω ότι είναι το πιο βασικό που πρέπει να κρατήσετε σαν γνώση από αυτό το webinar, ώστε να μπορέσετε να φτιάξετε ένα παιχνίδι.
Μ' ακούτε? Τώρα μ' ακούτε?
Ναι.
Okay. Το μόνο που δεν κατάλαβα, Cook, είναι αυτό που έδειξε με η πλατφόρμα του MaTHiSiS, ότι δημιουργούσε σαν βιβλιοθήκες κάτι και το αποθήκευε στην πλατφόρμα του MaTHiSiS για να το χρησιμοποιήσουν και άλλοι.
Ναι, είναι ακριβώς αυτό που λες. Δηλαδή, ουσιαστικά έφτιαξε ένα παιχνίδι, αυτό το Python Pong Game, ωραία. Αυτό το παιχνίδι πρέπει με κάποιο τρόπο να το αναγνωρίσει η πλατφόρμα του MaTHiSiS. Για να το αναγνωρίσει η πλατφόρμα του MaTHiSiS θα πρέπει να υποστεί μια επεξεργασία. Η επεξεργασία αυτή γίνεται μέσα στο άλλο tool που είδαμε, στο Learning Game Programming Tool. Ωραία. Αφού του κάνει αυτή την επεξεργασία και το κάνει publish, δηλαδή ένα ιδιότυπο compile σκέψου, μετά μπορούμε και να πούμε ότι αυτό εδώ το αρχιάκι είναι MaTHiSiS compatible και πάμε και το ανεβάζουμε ουσιαστικά. Δεν είναι τίποτα μαγικό, ένα entry σε ένα database είναι, που του λέει πού βρίσκεται αυτό και τι χαρακτηριστικά έχει. Ουσιαστικά είναι το ίδιο το exe το οποίο έχετε φτιάξει, απλά έχει πάρει αρκετή, ας την πω, μεταπληροφορία για να μπορέσει να το διαχειριστεί η πλατφόρμα του MaTHiSiS και πάμε και το συνδέουμε με την πλατφόρμα να το ξέρει. Γιατί να το ξέρει? Είναι το τρίτο κομμάτι, όπου, όπως είδατε, ο Τόμας έφτιαξε ένα εκπαιδευτικό γράφημα, όπου θα πρέπει με κάποιο τρόπο να κολλήσει αυτό το παιχνίδι που έχετε φτιάξει με την εκπαιδευτική διαδικασία του μαθητή. Αυτό γίνεται στο τελευταίο, σε αυτό που ονομάσαμε Learning Content Editor. Είναι πιο ξεκάθαρο τώρα?
Ναι, είναι πιο ξεκάθαρο. Τα starts και τα exit και τα stops που χρησιμοποίησε μέσα στο LGBT θα είναι στάνταρ για μας, ας πούμε. Θα τα καλούμε απλά για να συνδέσουμε το πρόγραμμά μας, έτσι.
Λοιπόν, αυτά είναι τα διάφορα events που θεωρείτε εσείς ότι το παιχνίδι σας πρέπει να δέχεται από τον εξωτερικό κόσμο. Όπως είδατε, έχει κάποια αρχεία τα οποία ονομάζονται manifest, στα οποία μπορείτε να δηλώσετε διάφορα events. Ό,τι θέλετε. Τα στάνταρ, τα πιο στάνταρ δηλαδή που αναγκαστικά θα πρέπει να τα έχετε, είναι το start και το close. Αλλά εσείς μπορείτε να θέλετε και κάτι άλλο. Εντάξει. Οπότε, θεωρώ ότι για το start και το close τα έχετε ήδη. Θα τα έχετε ήδη από το generic που θα πάρετε ουσιαστικά. Τώρα, αν πάτε σε κάτι πιο high-end σαν λύση και θέλετε να προσθέσετε και άλλα event, με χαρά. Υπάρχει δυνατότητα. Ωραία. Αλλά τα standard, το start και το close θα είναι εκεί.
Okay. Προς το παρόν δεν έχω κάτι άλλο να ρωτήσω. Αν μου έρθει τώρα κάτι, θα πω.
Κώστα.
Και εγώ καλυμμένος είμαι. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Ωραία, οπότε δίνω πίσω στην Έλλη.
Ωραία, οπότε νομίζω ότι ολοκληρώθηκε και το webinar αυτό. Thomas, there are no difficult questions for you. We have all understood that the tools are there and support the basic functionality for launching and closing the materials. And it is very important for us, for you to be here, and this is ensured, so we are very happy for this. So we are all ready to close this second webinar of MaTHiSiS. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Kostas and Christos.
Να ρωτήσω κάτι τελευταίο.
Ναι.
Αυτό το LGBT, το tool, μπορούμε να το κατεβάσουμε εμείς, να το δούμε κάπως πριν έρθουμε στο event.
Is it possible for the people to download or to interact with LGBT before they come to the hackathon?
We do plan to have the LGBT available on the MaTHiSiS website on production today, I suppose. So I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
Ναι, το συζητήσαμε και χθες. Ουσιαστικά θα μπορέσετε να το έχετε, απλά νομίζω μετά το απόγευμα σήμερα θα είναι στο site του MaTHiSiS, εντάξει. Θα μπορέσετε να το κατεβάσετε.
Okay.
Ευχαριστούμε.
Εντάξει. Λοιπόν, νομίζω ότι τελειώσαμε.
Εμείς ευχαριστούμε. Τελειώσαμε. Άννα,
θα ευχαριστήσουμε τον Τόμας για τον χρόνο του.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas, for your time and for your excellent presentation here today.
Thanks. Thank you for listening.
Να ευχαριστήσουμε και τον Κώστα και τον Χρήστο για τη συμμετοχή τους και θα τα πούμε από κοντά στο τρίτο webinar, το οποίο, Anna, when is the third? It's on Monday?
Monday.
The third one is on Tuesday.
On Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah, it's 5th of June.
Okay, it's 5th of June. Οπότε είναι 5 Ιουνίου, την Τρίτη. Ωραία. Το τελευταίο webinar, προτού πάμε να γνωριστούμε από κοντά και να δημιουργήσουμε ωραία πράγματα.
Θα γνωρίσετε και τον Τόμας από κοντά. Είναι πολύ κοντά στην ηλικία σας, οπότε νομίζω ότι θα είναι πολύ ενδιαφέρον για όλη τη διαδικασία.
Ωραία. Λοιπόν, νομίζω ότι μπορούμε να το κλείσουμε.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Γεια σου, Χρήστο. Γεια σου, Κώστα.